Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Who all is on already? Hope you are all having a wonderful day. JJ is getting ready for you. Nobody's on? No one's gonna say hello? Hi, Alyssa. Hi. Hope you are doing well. Clay, hello, hello. All right, getting things ready for JJ. Got some exciting breaking news that happened today from the SBA and the guidance that JJ's going to be talking to you guys about. FAQ 46 rocks. Yes, it does, Clay. Card Shop Reality. Hi, Daniel. Hope you guys are doing well. I know it's pretty exciting stuff, Alyssa. Lots of information out today. That's right, Jason. Lots of good information. Lots of information we've been waiting on. Hi, Charlotte. Good afternoon to you, too. JJ is getting ready. Hi, Fred. Hi, Tony and Will. Well, thank you, Will. I appreciate that. Yes, number 46 does save a lot of time. Hi, John. You just got over here from another live stream comic book industry. That's so cool. Hey, Kathy. Yes, JJ is awesome. He is so awesome. Hello from the Pacific Northwest. Howdy from Oklahoma. It's kind of been weird today. Yesterday was like 50 and really cold. Today is like 70 something, but it's cloudy and it's still cool. Like the wind's cold. Hi from Pennsylvania. That's awesome, Daniel. Knoxville, Tennessee. We love Tennessee. Awesome, fun little place. We've been there a couple of times. Maybe next week, Card Shop. That's what the plan is anyways. I think the plan is next week we will start working in the office. So then we will be coming to you from a different environment. You guys have only seen it like once. It's a beautiful office. We have a special friend today. That's BB-8. You guys, this has to be one of the coolest toys for a grown person to play with. He is so much fun to play with. I don't want him to roll off the counter. He is the coolest thing. That's awesome, Charlotte. Well, we appreciate your support. It is beautiful, Daniel. It's so nice. My office, unfortunately, does not have any view of the water. So I have to walk across the hall to go to JJ's office to see the water, but it's so cool and pretty, and there's these beautiful cranes that fly. Hi, Jean McIntyre. Jean, we did get your email about wanting the Amanda shirt that's bleach dyed, and I will get you one, and then you're gonna have to send us a picture with all the merch that you have. Greg, JJ is going to catch you up. He just released a video about all of it, but I know he'll be talking about it. Oh my gosh, Daniel, yes, please send us pictures of that. We want to see it. Did you redo it yourself? Hey, Road Lion, how are you? 75 people on already. And Amanda's been on for I'm going on 5 minutes. 5 minutes is normally and then JJ comes in, but I hear him out there. So he must be about to come in. Yeah, it's some interesting stuff. Oh, I can't wait, Card Shop. I can't wait. Yes, a JJ Happy Dance. Yes, we would really appreciate it for the people who are just getting on. If you would hit the thumbs up button. I can do a little tutorial for you iPhone people. I'm an iPhone people. Are you guys iPhone people? My youngest, who's 14, is an Android guy, and I don't get that one little bit at all. But we'll see if I can do this and show it to you guys.
You about ready for it?
I'm about ready for you. I'm probably boring these poor people to death. iPhones, yes. Yes, JJ was pouring a little bubbly over here. Not the good kind, but yes. You're on your iPhone. Focus. Focus. You're on your iPhone and you want to give a thumbs up. Your chat's going to look like this. You just click the X off and then it will take you. This is awful. And then it will take you back to, anyways, click that X and then it'll take you to where you can give a thumbs up right there. And then you just click live chat and then you can go back into the chat. That's some riveting information. Hello from Hot Mess, Pennsylvania. Oops, I got an echo going because I'm on my phone. I can do this because Amanda can do it. That's right. Appreciate that. Oh, Christopher, you're an Android guy. I don't get it. As soon as my son wanted an iPhone, he wanted an Android, and I looked at him like, what? Like, our whole family's always been iPhone people. Where did you get this? And he's like, I don't know, I just want to try something different. And so he got the Android, and he has zero interest in an iPhone. JJ and I've always said, like, the Androids are for the really smart people. Hey, greetings from Maine. I know it. I am stealing JJ's thunder. No, I will not be taking over. This is about as long as I'm going to ever be. You guys got a long, almost 8 minutes with me.
What? It's 8 after?
It's 5 after. I went on 3 minutes early. All right, the man that you've been
Is it in airplane mode?
waiting for. Yes, it is. 103 people are waiting for your debut. Drum roll.
All right, all right, all right. Today is a fabulous day. How's everybody doing? Howdy ho. Clay, happy dance. Yes. Boom. FAQ. Jim Porter. Boom. Jim Porter, not the CPA. Jim's going to get me out of some hot water.
I love it.
Yeah.
He's an awesome man.
And he shouldn't even, I don't even deserve it.
Of course you do.
But Jim and I started our careers together with Jimmy Curtis Averett. And if you've been tuning in, you know about Jimmy Curtis Averett. And that's who Jim and I learned our style from, Jimmy Curtis Averett. So Jim, thanks for being on. John, what's going on? Greg, Gene. Boom. Did you tell Gene?
I did.
That you got a t-shirt coming?
I did. And I
supposedly?
but then he's going to have to send us a picture with all the
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. With the merch, because I think you said he's got a little bit. Hey,
I think he has everything.
by the way, we've got some koozies to give away, and we have a giveaway that I completely forgot about. You're going to go like, you're right, I've never met a CPA quite like JJ because he has this that we're going to give away some. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you a little hint. It's like this big. It's about yay big. Oh, Fred, what's up? How are you? And we've got Daniel. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Rame, I appreciate you. And let's see, Clufford 66. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. Greg's not going to jail. This is good news. I wasn't going to let him take you. I can tell you that right now. The Amanda's on.
Well, I just switched underneath you.
Car Shop Reality,
Control.
CSR, I appreciate you as always. ORROJJAK, the Elvis of CPA, certainly best dressed. I really appreciate it. The Elvis, Amanda, someone just called me the
I
Elvis
saw that.
of
I read
CPAs.
that.
You know, the latest has been the Saul Goodman of CPA.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, I love Saul Goodman.
We love
I mean,
Saul.
I understand he ended up like really getting in trouble and had to change his whole life and everything, but when you really watch Better Call Saul, the essence of Saul Goodman, okay, Jimmy McGill, wasn't he was trying to help people. He just took it too far and he probably needed to have Jayjay the CPA keep him in line. Okay, Doug Heck, JJ, my girlfriend, received 24 PPP. She's been declined for unemployment for the last 5 weeks. Yesterday, the pandemic opened up. If she receives it, what do you do? Oh, get the back on it, Doug. And then, hey, I just updated my playlist, and I have a playlist. You'll find it. It says unemployment. I think it's the first video on there. We'll give you some guidance on what to do after that. Laura, how are you doing? We had somebody in from a new state? You said at the beginning, do you recall? You said, well, probably
No,
don't.
I said Tennessee and
Tennessee.
Pennsylvania and Maine.
Oh my gosh, look at Jason's nailed it. We've been working on this thanks to Justin McAuliffe, CPA JMac, and Juan. I miss these guys. We need to do a JX4. You guys need to check out the playlist, JX4. It's like nothing you've ever seen. But it was really Justin, right? That he's been pushing for this, which I love.
America's CPA.
America's CPA. I'm honored by that. I really am. I appreciate that. Let's see. Whoops. Get my glass. I've got a bunch of stuff. Faded Polo and Greg. With flying colors. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, Auntie, Amanda, and Uncle? JJ the CPA always loves. I always love her comments.
She's so sweet.
Yes, and Faded Polo, thank you so much. Roy, good evening. Laura has a question. Grain Bots, yo, I watch it. Gross income is way down. Can you hire a bunch of employees? And for 10K and 5K credit, please, I love you. Let's see, on the 10K and the 5K, yes, if you haven't taken PPP. The IRS kind of came out. And, you know, I think there's still going to be stuff that's overridden. Here's the thing. Thank goodness. And you know what? We're talking about FAQ. And if you want the 3-minute and 15-second version, okay, with a little bit of dancing, which I appreciate. People tuned in. I'm already getting told I'm Elvis of the CPAs, which I really like. But FAQ came out. Thank goodness. I can stop using the word criminal. And I can stop being uptight trying to tell people, you're going to jail. I never said you're going to jail. I just said criminal investigation. But I did a video on it. And I was like, so what if we get a criminal investigation? So what? I'm not afraid of it. I'm not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. But FAQ, what are we talking about here? The SBA came out with yet another add-on, which, you know what I'm glad for, is they're just adding on FAQs. They're not like, here's another one, here's another one. But anyways, number 46 is this. If you got a PPP loan correctly and your certifications were accurate at the time that you got it, then you have a safe harbor. What's the safe harbor? The safe harbor is the SBA is not going to require you to go and do a look back. What was the look back? Well, to figure out like how much cash did you have in the bank? Were you able to go and get other loans? When the CARES Act indicated you didn't have to go get other loans. You didn't have to look for credit elsewhere. And the PPP was really to get me and you, us small business owners, to get us through this gap. That's what it was for. It wasn't to now exhaust our resources. And I understand the SBA's obviously working in the best interest of the U.S. government. Why? Because they're part of it. But at the end of the day, what I'm thankful for is that we have the safe harbor, which just means that if you got it and you were doing it correctly. But as a side note, right, just trying to keep everybody out of trouble, if you got money because you paid out 1099s and then you got SBA money based on that, then you do want to pay that back. or if you got an amount higher than what you should have, if it was based on something different for self-employed, or at least just let the bank know. You know, let the bank know on this one. But I am going to say, I was ahead of the curve
Of course you are.
on the weekend, and a lot of people weren't happy about it. Now, how? Now, let me ask you this. Did anybody catch my troll video? I think a few did. I actually you know what? I hadn't had time to look at the comments. Did anybody see? So here was the thing. I did a little, I called it Robin Williams-esque video. You have to go check it out. Now it says in the description, you know, special edition for troll or troll special edition. And so I was having some fun. You wouldn't have known it, okay? But on purpose, I put it up last night, let it sit there for 12 hours, and then came out with the final thumbnail that says troll special edition. So I was trying to give a lot of fodder.
Coach has said it was his favorite video.
I love it. Well, I was thinking of Coach.
A lot of people
Yeah.
said that they loved it.
But anyways, I really had fun with it, and I was like, you know what? I was gonna say initially, here's the troll version, but I thought, well, I don't know. I mean, then trolls may not watch it, you know. But anyways, I had paid attention to a lot of the comments because one of the videos I did this weekend, it seemed like it unintentionally scared a lot of people in terms of like, but it was more just a video on how frustrated I was that the SBA was now saying that you're going to have to re-review your liquidity and debt. That's what question 46 resolves, but they were indicating it doesn't matter if you were a big company or not, you're going to need to reevaluate. And it was the SBA that was using language that was getting reported on by just a couple of publications on Saturday. Then Monday, everybody's talking about it. Tuesday, everybody's talking about it. And long story short, I was just saying, I cannot believe this. And anyways, I just don't think people watch my full video. And there was a lot of people that got scared. And so then I felt responsible. They're like, okay, well, let me shoot some other videos. Like, okay, no, this is what I'm saying. And then I realized, you know what? And this is one of the things I want to bring up because I want to thank all of you because you're responsible for this, being in here. But you know what I'm getting ready to say? 25,000 subscribers. What? And it is our 2-year anniversary today for Jayjay the CPA on social media. What? Wow. Yes,
Cheers.
Thank you for all of you. And there was somebody, it might have been somebody like CSR, but a couple of weeks ago, they're like, hey, let's help get JJ up to 25,000. And when it was over, I was like, well, with this PPP, I mean, I'm happy with 20,000.
Congratulations.
And then all of a sudden it's 25,000. I think my daughter's starting to finally get impressed. You know, I think part of it, she just doesn't maybe really believe it.
Right.
She's just been busy, bless her heart. But I will tell you this, the hot issue still out there, and this is where I was getting at, is, you know, the IRS has to interpret the law. SBA has to interpret the law. SBA was interpreting it. They came back, they said, hey, we've got this FAQ 46. Here's what I'm holding out for too, right? With Tom, right? There's a few others, Brad, Mike, Coy, and, you know, the aspect of the ERC, the employee retention credit. I am holding out hope, even though I'm telling everybody you can't get ERC if you got PPP. But it just seems like if they're doing another round of relief coming, why wouldn't you do the ERC? You know, we're talking about, will there be a payroll credit? You know, all these other things. I mean, it's like, how many more payroll credits are we going to have? The PUA, okay, but like there's people still haven't been paid it out. In Oklahoma, they're not paying out the PUA. But here it is on the taxation aspect of this. Minute one, I was like, hey, you're gonna get your PPP. It's not taxable, but the money that it's used for, you won't be able to deduct. Why? Because that's just how every grant's ever been in the history of grants. So from my perspective, that's still a big open issue. And the congressional leaders, which I don't know what that really means because I haven't seen the big names talking about this, but congressional leaders are wanting to say, hey, listen, IRS, they should be able to get the deduction. Now, the IRS can only follow precedents, but it'll be interesting if somehow the government comes back, government as in Congress, and says to the IRS, nope, you're going to let these individuals get the deductions. The only thing on that, Amanda, is it seems really unfair for those that didn't get the PPP money. Okay? I mean, hey, my clients got PPP. I got PPP. So if I can get PPP, not pay tax on it, and get to deduct, hey, I'm not complaining. I just don't know that we should count on it. But anyway, so the troll video that came out, it says Troll Special Edition. I did bring out a little Robin Williams. And part of the reason I did the Robin Williams is there was a couple of people, and I guess in my Saturday night video, when I was like, are you kidding me? I must have been sniffing a lot and like, I don't, and people were like, and someone was just really rude talking to me like, were you on cocaine or something? You know, like some rude comment. So anyways, immediately when they said that, I was like, what am I talking like Robin Williams? You know, because he used to be on cocaine. But hey, check it out tonight. Boom, tonight. Episode 1. And listen, Amanda spent 6 hours on this, okay? Obviously I spent time, you know, putting together the content and all that. But just piecing the video together, 6 hours, putting together episode 1 of the reality show, Jayjay the CPA, the reality show. Definitely highlighting, definitely highlighting backyard barbecue. But I will tell you this, the first one, know this, it's laying the groundwork for the entire Jayjay the CPA reality series, which at this point is going to be 40 episodes. What? It's a lot of episodes. But we're working with 4 companies. We're going to announce the other 3 on Friday. Did I tell you that yet? No. Friday, we're going to announce the other 3. And we'll do that usually probably within the first 30 minutes. Highlight them a little bit. But this first episode is really laying the groundwork, because I talk about a number of things that you just, if you're doing a show, you got to lay the groundwork at some point, and that's the episode that I'm laying the groundwork of what I'm going to be doing with each company to start out, what I'm looking at, and I think you'll find it interesting. I think it'll be a little more informative than you think. It was a little less, Kardashian reality show. And it was a little more, when I watched it back, it's like, wow, I had a little more learning stuff in there than I was
a lot of learning.
Thinking. Kind of reminded me, I was like, my stepdad would probably like this. It's kind of got some history, it's got some statistics in there. You learn about the industry, kind of teeing it up to bring it down. And then I ended up on the phone with Backyard Barbecue last night, I think 2.5 hours till almost 11 o'clock. That's why I had that video, the troll one.
I know.
Late. And I didn't even mean for it to go 45 minutes. I guess I was just having too much fun. I did write down notes. I was trying to get that. Someone said they had a question, but then they didn't. Faded Polo says, question. Maybe you could catch their question. Oh, okay. So, all right. So John's on with us, and Charlotte and Alyssa. Alyssa likes the pissant comments. My stepdad used to say that all the time. Pissant, probably, just the one that came to mind. They're usually pretty clean, but I did say, someone called me a clown, right? In one, and so I was like, clown. I was like, well, why don't you, I don't remember what my comment was, but I was like, at least I'm not an ass clown. But that term comes out of one of the funniest movies ever. Office Space, if you all have seen Office Space. And whenever that came out, I don't know if it was with one of my younger brothers, but it was like, I rewound it, like back in the day when you could rewind. I rewound that to hear the guy say it over and over. It was the funniest thing that I've ever heard of. But anyways, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Okay, 10 minutes cliff note of the whole process as of now. We need, where did your guy apply? They must be talking about somebody else. They're not talking to me. Okay. Yeah. All right, so we're going to get in. Let's see, Jason, thank you so much. Oh, TNG received a PPP today in time for FAQ 46, because you're going to have zero worries. We got Benny and let's see, Kashan Chen, full-time equivalent is based on how many hours a week? 40. And as far as I know, I mean, that's what I've seen. Anybody seen anything different? You know, we don't have Kenda on.
I know, we haven't seen her in a
Or
long
Tina.
time, so they must be cranking
Or
out
Julio.
tax season.
Clay may know, Augie, Greg, let's see.
You kind of broken Card Shop Reality's heart, by the way.
Oh my gosh. We're gonna, you know what? You were supposed to remind me.
Oh, so now it's my fault.
I'm supposed to wear braces today, not on my teeth, but on my pants. Okay, here's what we're doing. Okay, we're gonna put a sticky note, okay, and I'm gonna put it on my bathroom mirror, and it's gonna say Card Shop, okay, Reality, and I don't even have to say what else it means, but I'm gonna stare at this Card Shop Reality note, okay, it's going on that because I need to wear the braces for sure. Now, someone had a quick question about the ERC. The ERC is if the government has shut down or partially shut down, if you have 100 or less employees, whatever you pay your employees, you get a 50% tax credit on that. Your gross does not have to be down. It's an either or. Check out the IRS on that. And also, why am I even saying that? Go to a playlist talking about the CARES Act. I got several videos that walk you through it, calculations, boom, you're gonna love it. So there is 2 ways to get that. And let's see, oh, we got Matthew on, Matthew Conrad, CPA. Thank you so much for joining us, CB. What's up? Clay, reality show. Oh, Rob, how you doing? Hey, Rob, that was a great email. And look forward to introducing Rob to the Jayjay the CPA community on Friday.
Yep.
Yes, what you got?
Card Shop said you can't wear them Friday because he must have, somebody else was more important to him on Fridays because he's never really with us on Fridays very much. He said next week.
Okay. Well, maybe
I'll remind him on Monday.
Maybe he's busy.
He said, yeah, my shop.
Yeah, maybe he's busy. All right, so let's see. And then Brock and Kelly Thomas show tonight. Yes, great news. Thank you so much for tuning in. It'll be 7 p.m. CDT, which I used to always call CST, and then somebody corrected us. Oh, we got Dax on. What's up? CJ and Christy. Christy Ashley, not to be confused with Christy Alley.
And we changed my name to that.
Oh, Jason put a phone number on there. I love it. Let's see, Dax and Jason and Coxie's crew and Alyssa. I loved it when you invited the trolls to join you live so that you could get eaten alive by all of us. Yeah, absolutely. You know, because if you're a real troll, right? But I don't know. I mean, like, what are you doing with your life that you want to watch a video and then make comments? Like, I don't know. I guess it's just not me. Hey, I do want to let you all know, though, that if you haven't checked it out, and I'm doing it for a small group, but I'd love for you to join it in. But you need to go check out the episode called Yelp, okay? Group 300. It's a morning. It comes out 6 a.m. every morning. I try really hard for them to be less than 5 minutes. I think they've all been, except for the first one. It's kind of funny. It's a little corny. The other day, I was acting in it. I showed 4 different ways that people may arrive at work. And it was, just so you know, it was going to my front door, though. It was my front door. And I actually pretended to be on a phone on one. And so anyways, don't judge me for my acting skills. But then I had one, you got to check out Yelp, because I got on top of, you want to tell them? Tell them what I did.
He got up on top. I'm sure that you guys have seen our backyard, and we have a pool back there, and we have rocks. There's a water fountain, and JJ decided that he would be the safest thing to climb up on top of the rocks and
see the whole neighborhood. And maybe people don't even know what the Yelp is, but if you've seen Dead Poet Society, which I give reference to it and credit, but I show you the neighborhood, I show you my surroundings, and you have to see it. I even was impressed. It was like a full-out wolf cry.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, you should check it out. If anything, just get a little chuckle. And then, let's see, what do we got here? I just wanted to say hi, make sure I was saying hi to everybody. Joe, thank you so much. Joe Angel. Let's see. Oh, Z Robert 66, you are awesome. Thank you so much, Charlotte and John. And let's see. Oh, Coxie's crew, Star Wars fan. Heck yeah, I love it. And let's see. Grain Bots. Thanks, JJ. Ideal. Hire your kids as actors for your channel. Fire your kids. Profit. Poking holes in the idea. You know what? You know, sometimes you got to get creative. Just hopefully. Yeah, that's overseas. Yeah, that's overseas. That's why I was doing it. That's like KGB.
Ambulance.
That's KGB, isn't it?
I don't know what
Yeah.
KGB is.
You don't know what KGB? KGB. You don't know what the KGB is?
No.
What? It's the FBI for Russia.
Well, why would I know that?
Because it's like in every spy movie ever.
Well, I only
Right?
started
Hey,
watching those
Car Shop
since I
Reality,
was-
right? KGB is like the FBI. It's like the Secret Service for the Russian government. Am I right? Is it Russian?
I have no idea.
CSR is going to know. Let's see. Diane B, what's going on? Michelle
KGB,
G.
he said.
KG.
He said KJB.
Yeah, KGB. Let's see. North Louisiana, CIA, KGB. But for what country? Yes. Okay. Rob nailed it. Okay. Rob's already going to get. Did we send something to Rob?
I think so.
Probably. I don't know. But we'll definitely have these when.
Yeah.
Well, we can't say it.
I know.
Yeah. Tax Slayer, what up, what up? And yes, Russian, Greg. Glenda, how are you? And okay, and Christy Ashley is telling us Russia. Let's see, Darius, sorry, didn't have my glasses on. But now know this, that spread the word about this relief on the FAQ 46. And the great way you can spread the word is say, hey, you need to check out JJ's.
You should share your video.
You need to check out JJ's video here. I do a little dance, a little dig at the beginning there. But great news on that. If you're just tuning in, we've got relief on that. Friday, we're going to go live at 4 p.m. Criminal. Did I already say this? Criminal's going to be our word of the day.
Yep, you did tell me that.
Did I tell everybody? Did I tell them?
Coaches knew.
Coaches, okay. Well, you know what? I think I put it on he commented on one of my videos. You know, I do go to the videos where it's not that many views and I'll check out the comments because it's like, well, if you're watching this and commenting, I want to say hi to you.
That's right. I do that too.
Yeah, the ones that got 200, it's like, I don't know, how can I keep up with it?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, who is open? Who here is open? I'm assuming that Card Shop Reality is open, but Card Shop Reality, are you curbside service only on your business, which would be kind of interesting?
He is not open.
He's not open.
No, I think he said that they were extending.
Online?
Aren't you guys extending until the beginning of June?
Let's see, Jason, wish
Thank
for
you,
JJ.
Clay. That's so sweet. We
Jason, wish for JJ to respond. John Maines must have a question or somebody's got a question. Okay, so TNG, good. You are open. If you know what, tell us what state you're in. You don't have to tell city or anything, but
CSR opens up May 15th, so on Friday.
Guess what Friday is?
I know.
23 years of my practice. I will have had my own practice 23 years. Crazy. May 15th, 1997. I opened it because I got tired of somebody telling me when I could see my daughter. She was born in 1997. I was obviously in the middle of tax season. She was born on inauguration day. Okay. And the firm I was at, bless their hearts, are just old traditional CPA firm, but like they got mad if I went home for dinner and then came back. They were mad if I went home for lunch, even though I worked all the hours that I needed to. And I was just like, you know what, Granddad? Because he was still alive. I said, it's time for me to go out on my own. I got enough experience, and I don't want someone telling me when I get to see my daughter. So I went in the poorhouse for about 2 years, went down to one car, beater truck. I even went down and I rented my brother-in-law's, my ex-brother-in-law's vehicle. It was this piece of crap LeBaron, and I rented it from him for 3 months. And it was worth it. I loved it. And we lived off the Discover card for about 3 months. Anyways, just reminiscing. We'll talk about some of that. At the end of the day, we've got, let's see, Will's in Mississippi. Let's see, Dax, I have some friends in Texas that have a tattoo shop and they still can't open. Okay, so medical massage therapist, 20 years. Wow, we can open May 25th in full. Impossible to do massage that way. Yes, like Darth Vader. Oh, yeah, because you had to go get your hair cut and you had to wear a mask the entire time.
And my nails.
And your nails.
That
yeah,
is
different.
going to be optional here in Oklahoma as of Friday.
Oh, okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Let's see, we got Daniel, 20 years. Love it. Boom, 20 years. That, I mean, you know that you're going to make it if you've had your own business 2 years. And then my uncle, who was a CPA, told me, if you make it 5 years, you're going to have more business than you can handle. But most small businesses, if you can make it 2 years, but congratulations on 20 years, Daniel.
Dax
Yes.
says, I hear you. We opened our practice when our quadruplets were 2. It was rough for a few years. Wow, you're so awesome, Dax.
Holy moly.
Quadruplets.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is so awesome.
How many years ago was that, Dax?
Yeah, he didn't say that. Wow.
Hey, we want to give a little shout out to Corrine Pediatrics. Sent me some supplements, this awesome mug, and they were the first ones that popped a check my way, which was so generous.
19 years ago.
19 years ago.
Wow,
Oh
so
my
they're
getting
21. His babies are 21.
yeah, so college.
Quadruplets.
Getting ready to
college.
getting ready to get a raise. Or whatever they're doing. Not everybody goes to college, but nonetheless.
That is awesome.
Let's see. So Rob, which is up in Kansas, pickup only. Thank you, Clay. I appreciate that.
Our actress, Christy Ashley, she also does stand-up comedy.
Who?
That's awesome. Our actress.
What?
Christy Ashley.
Christy
Yeah.
Ashley, I love it. Maybe she has a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
CB is closed. Diane B. Okay.
Dax says they just turned 21 and we took him to Vegas and he discovered he's too old to party like a 21-year-old.
Oh, I bet. Well, especially if you're trying to keep up with 4 of them. Oh my gosh, that's awesome though that you did that. Diane B. Okay, so telehealth mainly. And let's see. Okay, Jason Hitch getting 25 loan based on net income, 15.3 self-employed. Almost the same. Yep, you're right. Jason. There is you got to look at how much is your SE tax, what are you using it for other purposes. We were talking with somebody that it was like, well, is it worth it to not take some deductions and get some PPP, or is it just take the deductions that you deserve? But yeah, on that self-employment tax, that's definitely a consideration here. But I reported yesterday, but I believe there's still easily $100 billion left in PPP2 that I think's just sitting and waiting for the small banks. But I'll tell you what, since FAQ 46 came out, I bet there'll be a kind of a flood coming now, maybe even next week, because there probably were a number of people who are like, you know what, I don't think I want to mess with this PPP, and they were going, for the the employee retention credits. Let's see who else. Alyssa, criminal. She's already ahead of the game. All right, Alyssa said criminal, even though it's not Friday. In honor of Alyssa, I'm going to go ahead and Zan G says KGB is a boring saxophone player. Wait, that's Kenny G. Okay, so here's the other thing is that we've got some special announcements coming out next week on Amanda. Some things, expanding the brand.
Expanding.
And I will tell you this, before we announce it, if you email us and there's just one specific thing, you're either going to know it or you're not, and you don't get to guess it right here.
Oh, okay.
You don't get to guess it. When you find it, you have to send Amanda a link to it so that we know that you found it. And whoever finds it, right? Before we announce it next week, okay? You're gonna send them a book.
Shirt and a book.
Oh, you're gonna send a shirt too? Okay.
I have shirts.
All right. All right. So it has to be what we're talking about. Huh? What?
I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was enough out of the screen. No one would know there. But here's what we're doing today. Okay. Here it is. Y'all ready? This is the one that I forgot about.
Yeah.
And the reason I've remembered it is that if y'all didn't catch the episode where I got nailed on a prank in the #1 radio station in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, 97.1 The Rocks, the Brian and Skin show. Yeah, the Brian and Skin show.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I accepted an interview. You probably saw it. I'm on a sports radio talk show, and it turns out the whole thing ends up being a prank in the end. But I hung in. A number of people watched it. But then I sent them. We actually found deep in your side of the closet two of the CPA shirts that have this on it. Like they were non-existent. Yeah. Came across them. I sent these because it's kind of rock and roll. The t-shirts have a tour on the back. But then I was like, oh yeah.
Nobody has these. These are like.
Is it coming through clear?
I'm waiting, yep.
Coming through clear? What in the world is this? Anybody know what that is? What is that? Who's guessing it? Because that's who. Guitar picks. Boom. Yep. I needed that.
I need that.
Yeah. Boom. Guitar pick. You nailed it. You nailed it. You nailed it. You nailed it. So email us, put guitar pick in there, and we're going to send you one of these guitar picks. And it's one of a kind. I only got 50 of them.
Yeah.
And you won't hear me talk a lot about this. Okay. But I manage a local band. And one of the band members has a company that does the printing on t-shirts. And he does printing on picks and printing on hats. You have the one and only Jayjay the CPA hat. And so that's why we have the guitar pick. Boom. Yeah, boom. So anyways, send us, put guitar pick in there. And of course, even if we've sent you something before, if it's okay, because we haven't been like gathering up addresses, like we're not trying to put together a database
yes, because
of
I'll be
addresses.
honest, we've sent out so much merch that I wanted to get really organized, and I was going to create a list, and we've sent out so much I haven't been able to. So your addresses are just buried in the email.
in the emails. Yes. Okay, so we've got a ton here. So Mickety Mac, what's going on? We got Jean and Glenda and Jason and Clay and Larry and Christina and Faded Polo and Michelle. No, what am I saying, Michelle? Charlotte, and of course CSR. CSR is going to get another koozie in addition to the guitar pick. We got Clay, CNG, and it was because CSR got it first.
Yeah,
right?
Did.
Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, nailed it. And Charlotte nailed it. Charlotte, send us your email address as well as Mickety Mac. Well, Card Shop Reality's all over it because of the Inferno. Yeah, you watched it. I love it. I love it.
Oh,
and
okay,
then,
Card Shop. We'll send you an Amanda T because he already got a koozie. He wants an Amanda T. So
done. Boom. So listen, I talked with 2 clients today that were so relieved about this FAQ 46. The FAQ 46 is basically the safe harbor relief that if your loan's less than $2 million, they're not going to come back and make you reevaluate whether or not you deserved it based on liquidity or available loans. And these 2 clients, what's interesting is that I talked with them, and meaning we had long talks before they even went and got the PPP money. And part of it was, okay, well, let's evaluate this because these are companies that save. They're older, they're in the medical industry. And what we were looking at and kind of, trying to evaluate, and one of them actually concluded like, you know what, I don't think I'm going to do it. And then he got some additional news and he's like, I think I'm going to have to. But anyways, with these two clients specifically, we had spent a lot of time just more like, okay, what's it going to look like? And they both were like, well, I don't really want to, I don't know that I want that. There might be more people that need it more than me. I mean, it was very genuine discussions. And so I was kind of like, man, I mean, we got two people here, two clients, two businesses, and they've been closed. And, this is the kind of business that, I understand it's medical and people can usually say, well, I mean, they're making that much money. Of course they can. Afford it. Well, not really, because if you have a company and you're doing 50 grand a week, 200 grand a month, right? And you're closed down for 6 weeks basically at this point, I mean, that's a lot of revenue loss. And then you're trying to pay your employees and the other expenses. And I know that there can be like, well, boo-hoo. What do you mean boo-hoo? It's all relative for everybody. Anyway, so we looked at it and, that part of their concern was, with a lot of doctors, a lot of people that, they bill now and then they collect later. It was like, well, is anybody going to look at my collections? We're getting ready to close, but money's still going to be coming in. So really where they're going to hit the wall would be a month to 6 weeks, maybe even 2 months after they're closed. So it's almost like, okay, we're projecting that, if they're closing mid-March, we're thinking, okay, there'll probably be money coming in March and in April, but then when May comes, it's going to be like zilch, probably June, zilch. And then I want you to think of this. So let's say that these medical clients, they open back up mid-May, okay? So they were closed for 2 months. But I want you to think of this. When they're doing work in May, when there's $0 coming in because they had been closed, and then zero money coming in or very little in June, well, they're still not making any money because they're now having to work. And when you're working in May or in June, you're not getting paid till 30 to 60 days after that. And that's where we really concluded that there would be a massive, urgent, holy smokes, set of circumstances from a standpoint of, probably a good 6 to 8 weeks. And so part of what we were evaluating is, would there be a concern that during the time of PPP, but PPP doesn't require you to be closed. It doesn't require you to have a loss or to not be making any money. So anyways, I was relieved with those two clients as it relates to that. Hey, a couple of other things is we have some emails that we want to get to. Did we get one from Cindy?
Yeah, we got one from CSR.
Oh, we got one from CSR. So as it relates to the three businesses that we're working with, one's in Massachusetts, one's in Kansas, and one is in California. And we've got one that's in Washington, but you already know about that one. Kettle Falls, Washington, backyard barbecue. I was on the phone with them last night for about 2.5 hours. It was like talking to some friends at this point. We're just chewing through, but I'll let you view into the reality series as it unrolls. But there was some high drama related to their PPP that we finally just found resolution on it yesterday. Mm-hmm. So this will be probably not a unique story. But what was it that, because it's Stephen and Vernita, mm-hmm. the owners of Backyard Barbecue out of Kettle Falls, Washington. Mm-hmm. What was it that Vernita said that I have in the video? How did she phrase it?
Hope growth is optional. Change is inevitable, but growth is optional. Yeah,
so Vernita, she is awesome. But in her video, they sent a 30-minute video to Amanda and I with their application and all the information that we needed. I mean, they really They really put their all into it. But anyways, yeah, in the video, Vernita said, talking about coming out of all this, and she said, you know, here's the deal. At the end of the day, change is inevitable with this, but growth's optional. And part of there was like, do we even want to grow? Do we want to try and grow? Because they were already in a like zoom, and then COVID-19 came. So I'll tell you this, you know, I thought when I was putting this together, I thought of Rob a lot with this episode, because I think that Rob, and Rob sent me an email or a text, and gosh darn it, I saw it so late I didn't reply to it. But Rob was talking about, he read my book, and he had been kind of going through the QuickBooks and talking about financials and stuff like that. So I appreciate that, Rob. But I was thinking of Rob when I put this together. There's probably a couple other reasons I was thinking of Rob. But anyways, I was like, you know, I bet Rob will really like this episode. And hopefully you all will too. But anyways, we're going to talk about the three and then their business, and we'll have links to them, and hopefully they'll be able to be on. Usually they are already on with us typically, but as we're opening back up, that's not always a possibility. But Amanda, are we ready for some questions?
We are ready
We're ready for some questions. We're going to start with CSR.
We are.
And then, Fred needs his answered.
Yes, and then you have
So we need
wanted to look it over.
So let's do CSR because I just said we would.
Yep.
Then let me read Fred's again, and then maybe you could entertain him. Maybe you could talk to him for a minute while I read Fred's.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, and this is a serious question from Card Shop. With PPP funds, if received in May, am I able to use funds towards forgiveness to pay back rent during the crisis, such as April rent?
You know what? This is a good question, and here's how you do that. Because the technical answer is no, but here's how you do it. This is how you square it up, okay? So when you send in your rent, put in the memo, you know, May rent. Now your landlord most likely, right, is going to apply it to whatever rent is due. So I don't think there's one thing incorrect about this. It's kind of like I tell clients, you know, when they owe, you know, something that includes penalties and interest, and you don't have any penalties and interest, CSR. So I'm not saying this because you have penalties and interest in your circumstances, but whether it's to, you know, the IRS or the state and local government, if we're really trying to chip it away at something, we send a letter and we say, we want you to apply it to this year and to tax only, right? We're instructing you. Now, however they apply it, it's completely up to them. Now, if you have a real jerk landlord, which I bet you don't, right? I bet you don't. You can just say, hey, listen, you know, for PPP, I'm going to pay you May rent. If you're going to apply it to April, that's your prerogative. But I'm paying you for May. I'm going to pay you for June. And then, you know, at some point you're making it up, so to speak. But I will tell you this, I really feel strongly if you put on there, I'm paying April rent, I don't know that it would count. Now we may be able to get some, you know, SBA guidelines where they're like, listen, as long as it's just 2 months of rent. So, you know, CSR, it's kind of one, it's like a six or 1/2 dozen of the other. But in terms of documentation, you want it to be for May and June. So hopefully that helps. And hopefully your landlord, and I don't even mean you give it to him with a wink or nothing, because obviously you're going to have to make up that rent anyway. Sorry that you're in those circumstances. A lot of us were. And, you know, I think at the end of the day, though, the SBA, and until we have it, we got to wait. But I do think at the end of the day, the SBA is going to be like, listen, it's 2 months worth of rent. It's 2 months worth of utilities. Because what's going to happen is, you know, many circumstances like this, right? I mean, someone's in May, they owe for April, right? So they're paying it just the same as I've said, well, if you're paying payroll and you're using PPP money and it includes a time period pre-PPP, well, you didn't just somehow figure out how to include it, because it does seem with the payroll, the CARES Act alludes to its payroll that occurred during the 8 weeks. So at the end of the day, I think you approach it that way. Let me read Fred's. And Fred,
It's the question in the red. So.
Question in the red. All right.
Question in the red. And just a reminder to everyone that is watching, if you give us a thumbs up. We would greatly appreciate that. That just pushes the video up to the top in YouTube so more people will see this. And if you are not subscribed, we would appreciate it if you would. Tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time, the reality show episode 1 will be premiering on the YouTube channel. So I do believe you can go and set yourself a reminder notification, or you can obviously set one on your phone so that way you guys can tune in and see it. Amanda will be scooting here about 5:45 off of here because I have an appointment at 6.
Oh, did you get the appointment?
Got the appointment.
Okay. Well, I have to go to a board meeting
And then,
on a Zoom call.
And JJ has a board meeting at 6 o'clock, so.
Yeah, and we may be able to wrap up before then anyways, because I can't do it without you, Amanda.
I know, I can't do it without
I can't do it without you. I would be going with you on that appointment. Okay, let's see. Did you have anything else to say? I'm still dying.
Oh, I'm sorry. We appreciate you guys. We really do. I'm glad that you can see the humor and that you're seeing all of the hard work that JJ is putting out in his videos. He went yesterday. We didn't see you guys yesterday. So he slept from midnight to 3:45 in the morning. This was yesterday morning.
This is the night before.
Yeah, the night before. And so he just like, nah, I'm just gonna stay up. So he stayed up all day long. I went to bed at like 11:30. And he's like, I'm not gonna be up that much longer. He didn't go to bed till 3:30 this morning. Bless his heart.
I just got carried away with the troll video.
You're supposed to be reading, mister.
I know. Okay, sorry. I just was enthralled with your story.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just trying to keep them entertained. So, anyways, he went to bed at 3:30 this morning, and then I think you slept until 9. I think he was up at 9 or 9:15, so he did get a little bit of sleep, and he is feeling better today. Yesterday he wasn't feeling the greatest, but today he is feeling better. We appreciate that, John. We think that you guys are amazing.
Fred, I love the question. So basically he is a sophisticated business owner, so he has several kinds of setups, which I love. I'm there with you, Fred. I've got very similar circumstances to you. So on the S, the way that you got the PPP, okay, which is based on the wages, so I'm seeing your calculation there. In essence, I understand exactly what you're getting at, but when you look at the amount that can be used for the payroll, in essence, if you really were to boil it down, like totally boil it down, in essence, it's like, well, what were you doing February 15th? Like for anybody, like who were the employees? What was the head count? What were you paying these employees? And in essence, if you're doing that, right, then you're going to reach that forgiveness model there. So if you had already been paying yourself a higher amount February 15th as compared to the prior year, right? Meaning like you gave yourself a raise, just the same as you'd give anybody else a raise. If you did give yourself a raise now, there's nothing wrong with that. It just may be that it doesn't all qualify. So again, there's nothing wrong with giving raises. There's nothing wrong with paying yourself more. Even if you're thinking, well, this might lead to more forgiveness, no one's going to take you to jail for that. It's just going to come down to it just may not be that portion is forgiven. But I hear you on the S, and then of course whatever your expenses are out of the S. Now on the Schedule C, basically the way that is obtained, and you said multiple Schedule C's here, but when you have the Schedule C, you're just taking the combined amount of your line 31 divided by 52, and I know you already know this because you said it, but combined amount divided by 52 times 8, and then that's just the automatic forgiveness amount, and there's no way to change it. There's no way to increase your own comp, or there's no way to reevaluate, recalculate your PPP amount on your wages. So I'm following what you're saying. Can I pay myself a little more here, and then got a raise over here? I'm just really boiling it down. But more what I'm getting at, Fred, is you can do it. I mean, in the sense of if you need the money, I mean, you own the business, you can pay yourself what you want. I would probably be sure to document that you were doing it because you're working more, you're doing it because of this, and not that anything, it's not that any explanation is being created. It's just that when they look at it later and they're like, what, Fred, what did you do here? Why did you give yourself a raise? And it's like, well, I mean, I documented back when I did it. I'm working more hours, I'm doing these things. That's why I'm paying myself more. If I don't get forgiven for that portion of it, I don't get forgiven. And so from my perspective, if you're working more, you need the money, then pay yourself. And then on the Schedule C, it's so easy that our hands are tied with it. So hopefully, and he said, the one and only amazing Jayjay the CPA. So I really appreciate that. And I love how you made your questions in red. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And I hope I answered Fred's question. We got CSR. Did Cindy have one in there?
Yeah, let me get to it.
Cindy from, well, no one knows who Cindy is, so I can say it. Cindy, that is from California. All right, we got, how many questions does Cindy have? She said she had 1 million.
Okay, let me get her email pulled up.
What does this, Cindy says, what does this mean, PUI and PPP? There's PUA, which might be confused as PUI, or maybe some people call it PUI, but PUA and PPP.
All right, and she said, we just received our PPP loan and are conducting our staff to come back. But as with a lot of businesses, some employees are not willing to give up their PUA benefits. My daughter has been working without pay. Is it within the guidelines and ethical to add her to payroll if she wasn't included in the original calculations but is currently working? I've been told to keep the PPP money all in one bank account or create a new one.
All right. Okay, go ahead and finish that one, but don't go into the next question.
But I keep really clean accounting records. Is this a requirement or just a guideline?
Yeah. Awesome. And your daughter is awesome, and how wonderful of her. Yeah, so legit, your daughter works there. And in the sense of what she's doing, right? So there's zero games going on here, that it doesn't matter that it's your daughter. It's somebody that's working in the business, has been working in the business. And in fact, I had visited with another client that they had a front person that's like, you know what, see ya. And their daughter's home because their daughter lives in New York. And I was like, why don't you hire your daughter? Because, you know, for right now, who's going to come to work? And you do need someone working in the front. Hire your daughter. I mean, you're doing you're just replacing. You're just doing a rehire. So the first thing is no. Where there could be an issue is if you have an employer, because this is what we heard in the beginning, and they're like, hey, why don't you all go on PUA, and then I'm going to hire my 4 quadruplets that are all in college to come work for me, and therefore I get to spend that money on my family, and then everybody's on PUA, and then that's where be like, nah, you can't get away with that, or you can't do it. And then on the PUA, it is there's a question, and the SBA came out on it directly, and I want to make sure that I get it correct because it's one of the new ones, but it's in the SBA FAQs, which, by the way, if you go to my website, I've got the latest. I even put this one up, so if you want to go check it out. And let's see, implementing rules, borrower. So question 40, okay, so question 40 says, will borrowers' PPP loan forgiveness amount pursuant to Section 1106 of the CARES Act be reduced if the borrower laid off an employee, sorry, this would be pre-PPP, and then offered to rehire the same employee, but the employee declined to offer? The answer is no, okay? And there's a bunch of little interim things and blah, 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 blah. And really what it boils down to is, Cindy, you'll need to document that they refused. And for now, I don't know what California requires, so you probably want to giddy up, look at the California unemployment website on this one, because California has a very low threshold of who's being considered an employee, and that's only to say California has some pretty strict rules, I'm sure, related to this. So, but I will tell you this, Cindy, if you don't document, and I mean like in writing, so whether that's an email that they acknowledge, whether it's a letter that they sign, but you need to document that you've told them that it's time to come back to work. You're able to pay them in full, because remember, PPP is you pay it whether you're open or not. You don't even have a choice as an employer. It's open or not, you're supposed to pay those employees, and you're supposed to pay them in full. I've had a number of employees commenting or asking like, hey, my employer got PPP, but they're only paying me 75% of what I used to make. It's like, man, it doesn't work that way at all, okay? Because it's a 2.5 ratio on 12 months of payroll. Nonetheless, Cindy, you need to document that you're doing this, that you're offering it. You can tell them, you need to respond immediately. You need to tell me. You need to report to work. You've got till Monday or whatever the case is. I do feel like if they don't reply, then you'll need to send a letter terminating them. But terminating them, and you'd probably want to think about it. We'd want to think about this carefully, right? In terms of the wording, but it's almost like because I have offered you to come back, because I'm telling you can get paid in full, because you've not replied, in essence, I'm assuming you're not coming back. Therefore, we're going to consider you a terminated employee. So maybe firing's the wrong word there, right? So if someone doesn't reply, and the same thing, if somebody does reply and they're like, nope, I'm staying on PUA or I'm staying on unemployment, I think your hands are tied to do the same thing. Say, okay, well, I offered you a position. I told you that I can pay you in full. I have no choice, unfortunately, under the SBA guidelines and you don't even have to explain why. I have no choice but then to accept that as your resignation, or to then categorize you as a terminated employee. And you kind of have to, I had that coach's video about it, where I was like, you're gonna let an employee tell you? But you don't have a choice on it. And it's the employee that's put themselves in that position. Then the other one is, if you are in a situation where you got the funds, then you can put it in a separate account, but it's not required. You do keep clean records, then it's fine, but you can, I've got a number of clients, the bank just dumped it in their operating account. And it's kind of a situation that if you feel good of, what you're gonna be able to track. And really, I told one of my clients, I said, just let it sit in the other account, but really at the end of the day, you're gonna pull it out as you need it. But like with payroll, the second you pull it out, it's technically already off. As Clay knows, we had some discussion a couple of weeks ago. It's like, well, I'm getting ready to pull money out of PPP. It doesn't exactly match up with the days. How does it work? And it's like, well, as long as you're using it for what's intended, you're okay. Because also when you get to forgiveness, it's like two separate issues going on here. You have money here to pay payroll. You have forgiveness to calculate. It's not literally I don't know that I have any money in my pocket, I don't. It's not literally this $1 bill went to this $1 of payroll, right? As long as you're using it for what it's used, you should be A-okay. That's what seems to be the sentiment with the banks. What else?
All right, this one actually came to me personally.
Oh, so we're done with Cindy's questions?
Yeah, that was it. She
Okay,
only sent it
all
to
right.
me.
All right, thanks, Cindy.
This question actually came to me personally through my Instagram.
Oh.
It's a husband and wife team that are watching you.
Oh, well,
and
thank you.
They reached out to me on Instagram. So, I'm watching the live right now. My wife and I are a husband and wife team, sole proprietors, and we share a business bank account and file taxes joint, so our bank trust combined our Schedule C's line 31 and gave us the loan based on that total. Our loan is X amount. Questions. Number one, for our payroll to be forgiven, do we have to show where the payroll is spent as a sole proprietor?
Great question. I'm sorry that I'm enjoying smelling this Rocky Patel cigar. Thank you for joining us from Instagram. How awesome is that?
Sorry, this is Cover Model Physique.
Oh man, well I really
Their
appreciate it.
Instagram is amazing, so you
Awesome.
guys should go check them
Awesome.
out.
Well, and you have to come in, because I'm telling you, on Wednesday, this is the true hardcore Jayjay the CPA community on Wednesdays. Monday we had, what were we up to on Monday? And I'm gonna
587 was, I think, our high.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? 587 at any given time. And then I want to say, it was like almost 10,000 people. That it was 9,000 that had come in at one point or another. That must be on the other phone. But anyways, Mondays and Fridays. Fridays I get it because we do our drinking game, which sounds terrible because there might be people watching here and they're like, thanks a lot. I'm trying not to drink.
Well, they can drink water.
But they can drink water. Right here I've got some Fresca, okay? So what I would want, I'm gonna answer you, but I would love for you to check out, if you would, because it'll give you a fuller answer. But I have a playlist that's called PPP Self-Employed. So check out the playlist. I've got some really useful ones in there. I also want you to check out my website. There's no booby traps in any of this stuff. You don't click and put in an email and then get invited to a free seminar that then I try and sell you something for $997. There's none of that. But there's also a page for the self-employed. There's a page about forgiveness. So I want you to go and check out that playlist. Hopefully you're subscribing. But the short answer is super easy and it's beautiful. SBA came out with this on April 14th and it's this. You take that Schedule C, line 31, divided by 52 weeks, times 8, boom, automatic forgiveness amount. You don't have to show, did you pull it out? Did you pay it yourself? Is it over 8 weeks? None of that stuff. It's just an automatic. Now, the thing to note on that is that it's going to come out to less than 75% by just a little over 1%, right? So it's just under 74%. But the bottom line is that you're now not showing anything. Can't be any more, can't be any less is the good thing. But then on my website in the forgiveness, I've got a sheet that comes directly from the SBA guidelines and FAQs on what then is considered forgivable for the other expenses in your business. And there's a couple of interesting things in there, so I'll let you go and check that out. So thanks for tuning in.
And their next question, we had very little savings, so we surely needed the money, but regarding the Give PPP Back video by your husband, I think we should be good. I couldn't have been approved for a loan anyway.
You are good, and depending on what video you caught, I did a couple of follow-ups. One that was, if you file a Schedule C and there was big question marks, but any of that concern, I don't think ever applied to the self-employed because of the way that small business versus self-employeds are taxed and how they're set up, meaning the self-employeds, there's not a true separation from your business evident by your filing one tax return. But the good news is, no matter what my opinion, the SBA came out hours ago with an updated FAQ that we were talking about earlier. And basically, if the loan's less than $2 million, okay, then you meet the safe harbor, and they're not gonna then expect you to go back and reevaluate your cash and your loans and things like that. But then I'm gonna tell you this, I'm terrible with names. I can't even remember, when we go to the drive-through, okay, I'm at the drive, I don't know what it is. It's like a phobia of some kind. I don't know what it is. It's strange.
Yeah.
But when I'm at a drive-through, okay, so I roll down the window, okay?
Because that's what we do around here.
Yeah, that's how I roll down my window. I don't even know why I did that, because I haven't done that since high school.
I know.
Anyways, when I'm at a drive-through, okay, I'm like, okay, what do you want? And you're like, I want a, chicken sandwich with whatever. But if you give me one little variable, if you're like, no pickles, and then this time I want a Diet Dr. Pepper, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I turn and I can't remember it.
Yeah.
I straight up can't remember it. And then I'm like, what did you say? And I'm like, Amanda, just yell it. I can remember my own. Mm-hmm. Now I know if we go to McDonald's, I know what you normally like.
Right.
Okay. If we go to Sonic, I know what you normally like. If we go to Chick-fil-A, I know what you normally like.
Right.
But yesterday you changed it up.
Yesterday I switched.
We went to Chick-fil-A, and you ordered something different. I did too, and I got strips. I would rather have gotten nuggets, but anyways, you ended up ordering something different, and I just couldn't remember it, and I just leaned back,
Yep,
and
I
the
took
guy,
care of it.
and he
That's
took care.
right.
So that's a really long way of saying, tell me again.
This is called, and just to tell you who we're talking to, because they're legit. This is Cover Model Physique.
Cover Model
and
Physique.
They have over 15 years experience, and he was on the cover of GNC as well as Muscle and Fitness
Oh my
magazine.
gosh! Wow, so, that is legit. That is legit.
He's legit. But
All
yeah,
I was.
And there's one more thing.
Okay.
Do we write it? Do you want to go ahead?
Well, I'll probably forget it,
Okay.
so I better go now.
Yes.
What I was just going to say is, you had said, and if you send us something, we're going to read it. But you had said something about, you don't have a lot in savings. I think is how they phrased it. You know what? Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Most small business owners, right? They're investing in their business. You get to an age, the kids are finally grown. Dax probably knows this, maybe in a year, and then you start being able to save extra. But the key is, we hit this age, right, where I'm 48, but then we got to really convert on the older years. You're probably not old, but like really the next 12 years, I need to make up ground.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not saying I don't have money set aside and all that good stuff. Now, if I worked for somebody, I might have more than I have now. Now I have a business and real estate and other businesses and things like that. So all I was saying is, welcome to the club. And as it relates to savings and whatnot, pick up my book, if you will. Go to Amazon.com. Just search Jayjay the CPA. Amanda has a book. You probably already know that if they're fans of you. But what's their other question? My point is $12.33. I'm going to keep it that price till the end of May.
This is the last one. Do we write a check from our business account to our names for payroll? And do we have to show where that payroll is going to be spent on, or no? Just talking about the 75%.
Yep. So, you wrote it all in one. So yeah, just follow the formula. Line 31 divided by 52 times 8. Quite frankly, you don't have to pull it out. You could pull it out any way you want. You don't have to say how you're spending that. But I will say, whatever else that you're spending, you're stuck with. That's the only amount of forgiveness. So it makes it super easy. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting Amanda. She has a book as well on Amazon, and it is warm in here. Do you mind
Yep.
turning down the air?
Yep. And
Might
he
even-
said, got it.
Okay.
Thank you so much. You guys are the best.
Perfect. So let's see. Today I have a series that comes out at noon every Wednesday, and it's called By the Numbers. But I created this playlist. I created this series, so to speak, for people that don't really like numbers. It's kind of an interesting way. I just tackle one number on one thing. And I don't want to say it's like philosophical, but it's more like, hey, go find this one number that you're going to be able to find. And, that number really kind of represents this. So look at these things, and then, what are your thoughts on that? And it's a way that for people that maybe their brain doesn't automatically go to 1 + 1 = 2. There's some brains and they see ONE PLUS ONE EQUAL TWO. Like, how do you do math that way? Maybe they can. I wouldn't know how to do that. I don't see letters when I see 1 + 1 = 2 in my brain. So anyways, you all need to check it out. They all have the same thumbnail, and every week I just tackle one number, and it's something to think about, and think about it in a different way. And I think you'll like it.
Bye, John Hamilton.
Bye, John. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Our next one is from Joshua. And he says, hello, JJ. One quick question. My estranged wife has several years that she has not worked. Will she be getting the $1,200 stimulus check? And if yes, did she have to do something, or will they just be sending those checks starting on May 13th? Thank you, Big Boss, Joshua.
Awesome. Well, if it's your estranged wife, I don't know that we want to help her.
They must be on good terms.
Okay. Here's the bottom line. For somebody that doesn't have to file, they would need to go to the IRS.gov website. And if you just put in non-filer in the search, you'll come to a page, and then for those that don't have to file, maybe because they're getting tax-free alimony or something to that effect, they'll put in their information, their bank account, and they should then get the $1,200. But they need to go through the non-filer and fill out that information. I'm sure there's information in there about, like, you know, well, why the hell haven't you filed? But that'd be the way to go about it. Yeah, so it'd be the $1,200. And then is somebody helping Crystal with her questions? She's got a number of questions here. JJ on starving, naming all these places to eat. Yeah.
Sorry.
I'll just say on Crystal, it probably doesn't really matter if you're filing a Schedule C. It'd be, in my opinion, sole proprietor or self-employed. Independent contractor would be, you're not filing a Schedule C. You just get a 1099. You're not taking any expenses. But with the SBA guidelines that have come out, I wouldn't lose sleep over it. Probably the safest just going with sole proprietorship. And then as it relates to this NAIC code, just Google it. Okay, and whatever you, just put in whatever you are, you know, medical massage therapist, NAIC. I think that's, yeah, NAICS. Just Google it, you'll find it, easy as pie. What else?
All right, this is from Darren, and he's just wanting you to direct him to the video that he needs to answer this question.
Okay, I appreciate that.
A 1099 contractor. He's ended up getting X amount for EIDL, and he's got X amount for PPP deposited today. This all happened today.
Okay.
And he says, from everything I've read, it looks like I can be forgiven 75% of this loan and will have to pay back the rest. However, I don't know if the X amount EIDL loan will mess that up. It's not clear at all how I should show I'm paying salaries with this money. If I just transfer the money from my business account, personal account, and market payroll, will that be enough? If you could direct me to your videos that explain the specific situation, that would be very helpful.
Awesome. I love it. And so if you go to, let's see, there is, the playlist is called, it says number 1, JJ's answers to your questions, most common. And it's the second video where I talk about PUA, PPP, EIDL. So I'd love it if you go and watch that, but I'll just tell you real quick, and you'll want to watch it because I talk through some more details, is based on the timing of your EIDL, it won't mess it up as long as you use it for expenses, business expenses, other than what PPP covers. So what does PPP cover? You'll see it in the video. There's a reference to my website. But then based on what you're telling me, as we had talked, you know, basically that line 31 divided by 52 times 8, boom, that's just your automatic forgiveness amount. You don't have to move money or show that you did anything with it or special. And then that additional amount, you know, Amanda's in the same spot. With you have a Schedule C, you don't really have any of those other expenses. Maybe you'll have $10 in gas. But go to jayjaythecpa.help.com also on the forgiveness page, because I've got a worksheet in there on how you calculate this stuff, as well as some lists that kind of make it easy there. So thank you for asking about what video. I really appreciate that.
And this one
and thank you and good luck to you.
This one is kind of an update and a question.
Okay.
This is from our good friend Les, the one who got too much PPP money.
Okay.
I'm the guy, the Wells Fargo gave me X amount of too much PPP. Just an update on the PPP loan forgiveness. Called the SBA, they said it's up to the lender. Called Wells Fargo, promissory note department, they said they don't know anything about forgiveness. No one can tell me that if I don't use all of the X amount, I can write a check and pay the unused portion back to Wells Fargo. And then he gives an example. What I need to pay the 1% interest on that. And he said it's crazy that no one knows.
Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous. I won't go to the word shameful, but it's like, are you kidding me? I mean, like, Wells Fargo doesn't know how to handle this. The SBA should just be saying to Wells Fargo, hey, listen, get the money back. It's got an SBA number. Track it and send it back. So here's what I would do, because we had somebody else, might have even been maybe Gene, because we talked about it on the live show before. But here's what I would do is, what you don't want to have happen is that You know, remember when we were all like in 5th grade and we come home and you're busted, right? And you don't even know why you're busted. And your mom or your dad or your stepdad or your stepmom or your auntie or whoever's looking after you, your grandmother, in your case, Amanda, and you're like, what is it? Like, what did I do? Like, you did blah, 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 and you know, and you're like, well, I didn't even know. Because I remember my stepdad was like, well, you should have asked. You should have known, right? So it's almost like, Jiminy Christmas, I didn't do anything wrong, but I'm still getting in trouble. And I'm getting in trouble for something I didn't know, but it's like, well, you should have known. So all that to say is, I think the best course of action, especially given that we're talking about a short fuse here where you would need to pay it back, I don't think there'll be any doubt that when you go before the bank and you have the letter, there'll be no doubt in my mind that you would have to pay it back then anyways. I don't think at all it'll be something that will be convertible to a loan. And so with that being said, if you already got it a week or two ago, basically you're gonna have to pay the thing back in 6 to 8 weeks anyways. So from my perspective, I would say put together a letter, put a check in there, and you need to send it to a Wells Fargo address that seems to be the most likely one wherever they're receiving payments. You can send it to a branch. I mean, obviously you want to try your best to go to Wells Fargo and see, or if they have somewhere, you know, here's an SBA address. I mean Wells Fargo's SBA department address. And here's why. You're gonna end up paying interest on that 1%. I know you're like, oh, that's not a big deal, but I'm saying you're gonna end up paying interest on it from when you got it to when you pay it back. So you know you're gonna have to pay it back. Maybe it's not a big deal because 1%, it might only be for 4 weeks, but you've done a couple of things. First of all, you're returning it when you know that it's too much, puts you in a fabulous spot come forgiveness for the rest of it. The second is, most likely at the end, it's gonna be one of those like, well, you should have known better, you should have asked, you knew you didn't get the right amount, and now, sorry, SBA is requiring us to assess some kind of minor penalty on it. I doubt that would happen, but my point is you've alleviated yourself from this unknown, and then you know, you're not paying interest on it. So that's what I do. And then here's the thing, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to do this and then saying, so don't worry about it because this is going to happen. But you know, it's not going to even get cashed. Yeah. You know, and you'll probably have to void out the check. And so it can't be like, well, that sounds like a waste of time. No, you want to document. Yeah. I gave it back at this time. In you know, it's like in a letter. Hey, I discovered today, whatever. I discovered today that the amount of PPP funds that I received was inadvertently higher than the latest calculation. Therefore, I am returning these funds that was inadvertently approved by your bank even. I mean, the bank, you know, has a minor role in all this too. So hopefully that helps. Good luck to you on it. And then, I mean, make a copy of the check, make a copy of the letter. If you ask me, spend a few bucks. I know that's not really where you want to go, but like go and spend a few extra bucks, send it certified that you have proof that it was sent, because you know what's going to happen is it's just going to end up in somebody's inbox and be like, what do we do with Harry? What do we do with this? I don't know. Put it in that one box with all the other people that have been trying to send us checks. So good question on that. I think it makes you safe. All right, so hey, I want to make sure that we don't lose our battery. We'll probably wrap up here shortly because Amanda has to go. She's got an appointment, and I can't do this show without her. So bear with me. I just want to make sure. Oh, and I have something cool to show you. Hang on a second. Something Amanda gave me, and let's see. Question, Jayjay, sole proprietor here with me, no employee, running 1040 Schedule C. Why Schedule C and not aging of my 1040? I'm not sure what you're inquiring of, but it is just based on Schedule C. Everything all right? Uh-huh. Okay.
All right, so you want to do one more and then you can start
one more, but I wanted to show everybody something.
Oh, well, show away.
I wanted to show them something that you gave me.
Aww,
and this is super cool. Look at this thing right here. Is it coming through clear?
I'm waiting to see. There's such a delay. Yep.
Okay, so it says Jayjay the CPA. Okay, it's a flask, right? It's a legit flask, and it's I mean, it's metal underneath, but it's got
Wood.
what do you think that wood is? Like cedar?
Probably.
Some cedar, but then it's got Jayjay the CPA on it. Super Jayjay the drunk. Yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah, but you know what? One of the reasons I like this, and I have a couple other flasks. I don't think I've ever used a flask. One time, probably when I was like 24, and I was golfing, and it ended up being a big mess because it didn't stay in the right, and it leaked into my golf bag. But anyways, but it reminds me of my grandfather, because I remember my grandfather telling me a story that they would go to they'd go into town to see a game, and they'd get on the train, and he and his buddies, you know, they'd have a flask, woo, right? And they'd be on the train having a little extra. So anyways, this is something that Amanda gave me. I just wanted to show everybody. I thought that was pretty cool.
Sweet.
So we're gonna do one more, but remember this, Friday, the word of the day is criminal.
Yes.
And every time we say criminal, then we all have to take a drink of whatever happens to be in your mug, glass, or in front of you. And tonight, 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time, boom, episode 1 of Jayjay the CPA, the reality show.
I'm gonna let you read that one.
And then, let's see, tomorrow, 6 a.m., we've got a Group 300 video coming out. FAQ, if you joined us here recently, boom, SBA, FAQ. Look at the video I just put together in the last couple hours. You're gonna be excited. I do a little jig at the beginning of that, jig as in a little dance. So, all right, so we've got from Doobie. I have a question about applying for PUA. I work and own a frozen yogurt shop, single member. I also care for my parents through I am allowed to take PUA while my business is still open, but making very, very minimal money. True, sales decreased X in comparison to before, but also while getting hours in the program caring for my parents. In regards to the latter, I feel like even though my shop is open and bringing in some money, I know that we are still an absolute loss every day, and I know that I will still have nothing for myself at the end. Can you address both my situation with taking PUA and then taking PUA while the shop is open, and also taking PUA while bringing in a small check under whatever that IHSS is? Well, sorry for the circumstances, Doobie, and I know that, you know, for a lot of business owners, it's like, well, I mean, what else am I gonna do? I know you're caring for your parents, but what else am I gonna do? And I want to be open for my customers. I at least want to know I'm still around, even though you're running a loss. And so really what this is going to come down to on the PUA is that it's going to depend on what your state requirements are. Now, you would think that they would all be the same with PUA because it's a federal program, but the feds have left it up to the states to interpret and pay out. So the only way this is going to get answered is really truly going to the website. I don't know if you're able to call somebody, but when you go through the application process, at least in Oklahoma, there's enough questions. Now, they don't ask about PPP, but there's enough questions in the application to get PUA that it should ferret itself out on whether or not you would qualify. But I would just tell you this in general, and for anybody that's needing PUA. PUA is not hey, I'm still working, but I'm making a loss, I don't qualify. What it is I'm not making money here. Okay, I might be open, but I'm not making money. And these are certifications you would be making. And if you have a loss in your revenue stream, then that's what it's there for. But you're only going to get PUA one time. And I don't think you're asking about, can I get PUA 3 different times at the same time? But if you are closed, you get PUA. I think if you're running a loss, you should get PUA. I'm not sure about the thing caring for your parents. That could be a state-to-state thing. I don't know on that one. I think, though, the PUA is more directed towards if you have to be home caring for somebody because of COVID, but you're unable then to earn anything, right? So if you're still going to your shop, I understand you're running a loss, but the reason you get PUA is because you're running a loss. So, but here's the thing, it's all gonna be state to state. I understand in Oklahoma, are you home caring for somebody with COVID or whatever? I don't think it would qualify as just, well, as a precaution, I'm staying home to take care of somebody. I think they'd have to be with COVID. But at the end of the day, I think you're gonna get the 600. I think you qualify for it. But again, it won't be per Jayjay the CPA. It'll be per your application process, as you would guess. And so anyways, good luck to you on that. Sorry for the circumstances that you are in. All right, well, we always know, Amanda, that it takes a little bit of time because I try and say hello and goodbye to everybody that I possibly can. We do have to wrap up. Amanda's got an appointment that I'm excited about. I'm sorry I can't make it because I've got to be at this Zoom board meeting. Say it again.
Said board meeting.
Board meeting. And then, oh, let's see if we can get over 100 thumbs up. If you haven't done a thumbs up, if you don't mind, pop a thumbs up there. See if we can't get over 100. Thank you for being on today. This is the crew. This is the crew.
This is
I think the only
crew.
Yeah, I think the only one that couldn't make it today was Jason.
Yeah,
I didn't see Jason. And Jason's diving. He gave us this Megalodon shark's tooth. But you know what? Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so excited about FAQ 46. If you haven't checked out the troll video, okay, check it out. It came out last night. I think you might get a hoot out of it. I have a lot of different characters and voices and faces, a lot of fodder. And then check out the last one that I did, at least, because it's 3 minutes and 15 seconds, which is almost a world record for one of my videos. That could be a world record on that. So, all right.
You gave me a really good idea. I need to make Jayjay the CPA groupie shirts.
You're too kind.
Yeah.
You are too kind. All right, well, Card Shop Reality, flash to confirm, no braces. Boom. I love it. No braces here. I appreciate that. All right, well, thank you, everybody. Dax, thank you.
You're too kind, Card Shop.
Gregory and Fred. JJ, you would have been a great flapper. Boom. You know what? I'll take that as a compliment.
Right.
And I know that he meant it as a compliment. Oh, I'm loving this. Card Shop Reality. Jayjay the CPA, accountant to Otis from the Andy Griffith show.
Yeah, I know.
I like it. All right, Charlotte, thank you so much. And Dax and CNG, boom, criminal. No, not you, TNG. I said CNG, but that's Tony. Yeah. TNG. I must be behind because Alyssa said a criminal again, but maybe that was like a long time ago.
Yeah.
The Force Awakens. Okay, I guess I'm just way behind, aren't I?
Yeah,
Am I just way
up there, so.
Otis is a criminal.
Yeah.
You call me a criminal? I'm just kidding. All right, hey, thank you so much, Charlotte. Charlotte's got the laugh faces. Let's see, Crystal. We are currently in Oklahoma, but we will be traveling all over the place. That reminds me, I need to update my travel schedule. Let me tell you a little secret. I tell everybody to go to jayjaythecpahelp.com because it's got all the stuff on it, like where to go to learn about PPP and worksheets and Excel spreadsheets and all that good stuff. And the reason I did that is that it's just for free. Now, the other website's all for free too, but I don't advertise myself or sell my services or anything on the Jayjay the CPA Help. And I'm not for hire, but go to jayjaythecpa.com, jayjaythecpa.com. Okay, there's no help in it because there we have our travel schedule, which just reminds me I need to update it because we're moving when we're going to Seattle.
I know.
We decided that we weren't going to risk our lives, and then I need to update it where we're going instead.
I know.
So we're going up to Kansas. All right, Fred. Let's see, Crystal. Thank you so much. Everybody here, Doctor and Sandra and Tony. You've never met fans like us, no doubt. I really appreciate that. Your auto advocate. Thank you so much, Sandra. And then C. Fulford 66. Thank you so much. Dr. Keeping Healthy, our feet healthy. And Alyssa, thank you. Great to see you. Happy hour for the criminal. Let's see, JR XIAO, Charlotte, thank you. Rob, thank you so much. And Henry and Candace and Sandra, thank you all so much. And David and Jean McIntyre, love you too. And the professional speaker, Diane B, JJ, always a pleasure spending some time with you. Thank you so much for that. Y'all make my life. You're making my life. AM, great for you to be on. I really appreciate that. TNG, y'all have a great one. And Gregory and Dapper Dave. Let's see, John Coopy. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, so sorry about that. Let's see, A&M or AM. And let's see, Cindy Bell, thanks for being on. Thanks for the great questions. We've got Mervin Secure One, Arnak, and we got CJ and Glenda. What's up, Glenda? And let's see, all the way up here, Ripcord. And let's see, Jason Hitch, thanks for being on today. And Peter and Tim Williams. And Mickey Mac, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Fred, again, thank you for being on. Thank you for the great questions. Clay, appreciate you. Christy Ashley. And let's see, I'd probably give another shout out there to Charlotte, had a lot of good comments. Brooke Witt, Jilly Bean. We've got Mauricio and Daniel and Larry Richardson. Great to see you. Thanks for being on. Faded Polo. We've got Michelle G. We've got a bunch of people that we're sending out. John Mann and a number of others that are going to pick up the pick. We got RK. You know what I like is that I was able to shout out a bunch of names here. I love it, I love it, I love it. All right, hey, Eric, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Greg, you all have a great one. Let's see, BBB is here for Force Awakening due to SBA FAQ 46. See, we have to, I know that he's told us where he is, but we've got to just make a trip. Louisiana. I think we're speaking there. No, we were supposed to. Yeah, I think it got moved. All right, well, hey, we're out of here. Brent Richards, thank you so much. And Alan, have a great night as well. Greg, we'll make it happen, CSR. And by the way, we do know CSR's real name.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, in the future.
We know Goddozer's real name too.
We do know Goddozer. Oh, and Goddozer's, he must be working. Hopefully he's doing well. He got, I don't want to say injured, but all right, well, hey, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you so much. Tune in tonight, 7 p.m. CDT for episode 1 of The Reality Show. We'll have some other good stuff coming out. And join us on Friday. Criminal is the word of the day. And Amanda, thanks for another great show.
Thank you, Jayjay.
All right. I love you.
Bye, guys.
I love you all. Thank you for coming on. Thank you so much. All right, we'll see you. Talk to you soon. Bada boom, bada bing.